Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician. Today we're going to be trying to look at all of my Gearwrench tools. I think I figured out where all of them are. We'll probably end up missing a couple, but we're going to start over here. This is my overflow box. This is, if you guys follow the channel, you guys know I went to college many years ago, and in college basically had a box put together that would go specifically for work. Well, the job I got as soon as I got done with college, they provided all the tools. So all the tools I already had purchased for work now just became backup at home. I just can't get myself to get rid of it, and now that this box is full, things are starting to overflow into this. So this is my primary box, this is my overflow slash secondary tools. So let's go ahead and find all of my Gearwrench stuff. The first ones are actually just up here in the lid. I have a few of the impact extensions, which honestly I forgot for the longest time that these were even up here, and these are just some extras. I have tons of other extensions, so these just kind of float around up here. And then in the first drawer here, I actually keep another extension. This is a 1/2-inch drive Wobble Plus extension from Gearwrench. I had originally purchased like their 1/4-inch, 3/8, and 1/2-inch drive. I think the 1/2-inch drive was the only one that didn't come in like one of those blow molded trays, but I found myself with an overwhelming amount of extensions, so I went through and kept a lot of the ones I knew I would need and got rid of a lot of the others. But you'll see all the others that I have here in a little bit. I already have quite a few just miscellaneous ones up here. I have a bunch of other impact rated extensions over here. These are the ones that I primarily use if I'm using impact extensions. Next drawer down, we actually have an oil filter wrench over here. This is probably the first one that I ever bought, and then when going to college, they obviously provided another one, and I have a few different style oil filter removal tools. They work decent, you know, it all just depends on the oil filter size that you're working with and the area that you're working in. Sometimes you're a little restricted, so sometimes those styles are good, sometimes not so much. Then I also have the Gearwrench magnetic drain plug socket set. This works with their pass-through ratchet set. I don't have that. I did back in the day, but ended up getting rid of it, and I kept the full set of these because they are really handy, and they are color coded, so you know over time you can kind of identify which ones are which. All color coded for drain plugs. And then we also have this little guy back here. I can't remember if this is from my Matco set or Gearwrench, basically the same thing, and I don't think any of them actually state on the bits themselves. Yeah. So this is Gearwrench and Matco both sell this same little set. And this came with a ratcheting driver, but I've had both Matco and Gearwrench, so I'm not sure which one this came with. But that's just kind of a backup bit. I probably have 400 bits around, and that one's nice if I need to grab it and go somewhere. But now I work out of my truck, so I have a ton of bits in the truck as well. A set that isn't used often, but really nice to have, are the bolt biters. I have a full set of the bolt biters, and what's nice about these is they work in both directions. These are for rounded fasteners or rusted fasteners. They work in both directions, and you have normal sizes and minus sizes, so if the fastener is really bad, you can kind of fine tune and get a good bite on it. And then you have access for an impact, ratchet, or a wrench on it, so pretty nice little set there. The other stuff in this drawer, this is probably my most commonly used drawer out of this toolbox. The pry tools back here, I used to use these at work. I have a different set now. I have a couple Matcos and stuff, but this is just for trim removal, panel poppers, stuff like that. Different shapes, different ends on them, different lengths. Then you have the 84-piece bit socket set, which I've had for 8 to 10 years. And this is my go-to when I need long bit sockets or 1/4-inch. I don't really use these. I'll use E-Torx every once in a while when I'm working on some pulley setups. They use the E-Torx every once in a while, but it's primarily the 1/4-inch long bits, and then every once in a while I'll get into the 3/8, but the 1/2-inch not very often. But it is nice to have a good assortment. I already have 2 drawers over here with my primary Torx and Allens that I use. If there's something in here, we'll never know because I'm not going to dig through it. And then I actually picked this set up on sale, I don't know, over a year ago. This is a bolt biter extractor as well. I haven't even had the chance to use this one, which I mean thankfully, I guess. But I have two other cheaper ones that I use on a regular basis up here. So once those are really cheap, so once those break, I have these on hand, but I got a good deal on those, so that's why I have that. Next up is the underhood work light, which I use quite often. I think I won this on a giveaway, if I'm not mistaken. And it's got a magnet on the bottom, a hook. It's a wing light. I like it because you can take it off of the mount and actually use it wherever you want. So this is a really good light, and they're pretty affordable if you just buy the light. And I'm probably just going to pick up another one because waiting for this thing to charge is really annoying. So it is USB-C rechargeable, but I just wish the battery life was a little bit better on it. But it's a great wing light. You got spotlights on the front and lights on the wing. And it came on that little mount over there that I got hanging up. Just hang it up over there to keep it out of the way. But yeah, great little underhood work light, and pretty affordable as well. Then in drawer 1 of this box over here, we have the scraper set, and I use a couple out of here. I don't use this thin one very often. Oh yeah, I got a little pocket screwdriver. I don't even know where I got this from. I got a ton of little pocket screwdrivers, but these are pretty awesome and nice and sharp. But if you're working with aluminum, you just got to be careful because they are actually pretty sharp. But a nice little set there. Then I have their 7-piece pick set, 4 miniature picks, 3 of the larger picks for like radiator hoses, heater core hoses, things like that. And then over here, I have their 20-piece master screwdriver set. And this is all the old handle design. They've updated to their new handle design, but it comes with a couple stubbies. Love the stubby screwdrivers. It's a tri-lobe handle, but it's a very subtle tri-lobe handle. I have a full review on that. Basically all of these tools I do. You get some precision screwdrivers as well, and then you get a couple Torx, which is T15 and T20, and then you have slotted all on this side, which I use primarily as pry bars, and then Phillips on this side. And honestly, they've held up pretty well over the years, and I've had these for quite a while. You can still get these, it'll just be in the new handle design. And I think that's everything that I have up here. As far as pliers, I have a whole set of the, what are they called, the pit bowl. The Lyman pliers, don't really use those all that often. I have probably more Lyman pliers than I need. I mean, these are pretty big guys. And then adjustable water pumps, don't really use these either. I have multiple other ones. I like the Cobras, and then I have some Cobra knockoffs. But as far as other Gearwrench pliers, these are a couple that I actually kept in the truck. I recently swapped these out for the Icon ones. I have the Icon slip joint long nose pliers and the diagonal side cutters, so I brought these back in, threw those in the work truck to see how they perform. But honestly, I wasn't sure how these would do, but these have been in my truck for probably the last 2 or 3 years. And while they don't go through like extremely heavy duty use, they've done really well. I like the cross hatching in the teeth. Overall, they've been real decent. I think if you buy them as a set, definitely only buy them on sale. I think like a 7-piece set runs like $140 or something ridiculous. If you can find the set under $100, I think it's a good deal. But other than that, you might as well just step up and get like Knipex or Channel Lock or something like that. But they've been solid, especially in the work truck for a few years. I think that's it as far as pliers from Gearwrench, or just the pit bull set. One of my favorite purchases is the wrench set. This was, I don't know, 2018 maybe. I bought this set. It's 6mm through 32. Now obviously it does have skips. It doesn't have 31 or 29 or 28. You got 23, 24. I think it's a full set all the way up to 24. And then it goes 27, 30, and 32. But they are a long pattern, so a little bit extra length to them. So like here's your 13mm. I mean, it's got some decent length to it. Just a single tooth on top and bottom. Nothing fancy, but they've worked good over the years. really good. And I think I paid like 70 or 80 bucks for this set. I mean, I can't complain, especially for just a normal combination metric set. Really good coverage. Then this I actually won on an Instagram giveaway, and that is their extra long double box end ratcheting wrench set. This is the 120 XP version. Love these. I think I have 3 or 4 sets of extra long wrenches. I got one at the shop and 2 or 3 sets here. I got Tecton Easy Red gear wrench, but this uses a spline drive, and Gearwrench does have a couple different variations, the non-120 XP, a flex head, and a non-flex head set. But these have held up really well. This goes from 10 to 19, and I just have the metric set, which I'm okay with because I rarely use the SAE when it comes to wrenches, especially even working on my old car, the Camaro. This is primarily metric as well, so every once in a while I'll still use SAE, but primarily metric. And so I have that set, and then I have their deep offsets. Not something I use all that often, but still nice to have on hand. I have the, Matco long one, just like this set. Then I have the Gearwrench, both SAE and metric flare nut wrenches. They're decent, not the greatest, but for weekend wearers, DIYers, would you focus? They're just fine. Haven't had any issues. Redid all of the lines, brake lines, fuel lines. I mean, I basically touched everything on this car, and, they did just fine. In the professional field, you might want to step it up. They will probably spread underneath, really bad conditions, but for weekend wear DIY, they've been just fine, and they were pretty affordable at the time. And I think that's it as far as wrenches. The long pattern combination, the extra long double box end, the deep offsets, and the flare nut wrenches. I was wrong. I always forget that I actually own these. These are the Gearwrench flex head ratcheting wrenches, both metric and SAE. The metric is 10 millimeter to 19 millimeter, and then the SAE is 3/8 to 3/4, and they're okay. A lot of the heads get floppy. Some of them are really stiff, which I'm okay with, but honestly, I forget I have these most of the time. Tons of other wrenches as well, and I just forget that this set is even over here. Like this one, it just kind of does whatever it wants, and you can't really tighten these up. It's a very small fastener, and I've tried, and it's just, that's why anytime I do a video on Gearwrench wrenches, when it comes to the ratcheting stuff, I always suggest getting your hands on them first, because some of the wrenches out there from Gearwrench are junk, and then some of them are actually really good for the price, but it's hard to tell when you're just looking online. Then we have the older 84 tooth comfort grip ratchets, locking flex head. Actually really solid ratchets. I've had them for many years, and they've been really solid. Now I also have the 90 tooth, many different variations of the 90 tooths, old design and new design, as well as the 120 XP old design and new design. And then I ended up getting rid of some of my other extensions because I ended up picking up the Snap-on Bobble Plus extensions when in college because I got a big discount on them. But I still held on to the Gearwrench 3/8 drive, just standard straight extensions, which is a nice little set. Nothing wrong with those, so I've held on to those and used those pretty regularly. Over here in this drawer, like I was saying, I have the 120 XPs. This is the non-flex head, and I actually like the 120 XP design. They've been very reliable to me. I also love the 90 tooth. Both of them have very low back drag, and I don't really use the 1/2 inch drive in this set because if I'm using 1/2 inch, I'm using something long. The 1/4 inch drive and the 3/8 drive get used all the time. This is one of my go-to sets. And then I also have their compact head. This is a 3/8 drive. Not used all the time, but this one's pretty nice. Just your standard length 3/8, just like what you have over here. Just a much more compact profile, and this is the 90 tooth. Then I have their universal chrome socket sets over here, which is, I believe, 10 millimeter. Yeah, 10 up to 19 millimeter. I have a really dumb set for a 1/2 inch, which I need to get rid of. I just can't get myself. I never use this set because my 3/8 drive has more coverage than the 1/2 inch drive. It literally goes up to 19 millimeter. starts at 8mm. I don't need a 1/2-inch drive 8mm, so I need one that starts a little bit higher and goes further, because I just primarily use my 3/8 drive set. And then I also have their universal impact adapter as well. Moving down, we have, start over here, the 120XP semi-locking flex head. This is one of my go-to sets. This is one of the 1/2-inch drives that I will actually use because it does have extra length, but they've been solid ratchets. The semi-locking position, it can be great sometimes it can be annoying, you know, if you're kind of working in an awkward spot and it wants to bump on you, or you're kind of working in between those two spots. That's why I have a combination of free-floating flex heads, locking flex heads, semi-locking flex heads, just a ratchet for any situation. Way too many ratchets than I need, but these are some of my go-tos on a regular basis, and I absolutely love these. These have a little bit extra length to them as well as a stubby 3/8. Then I have the 90 tooth set as well with the comfort grip, and they're actually pretty dang comfortable. They do use that snap ring style backing plate, which they did change on the new Gearwrench design. This is the 120XP locking flex head. I love this design, but there's a lot of play in the flex head, even in the locked position. I think they could improve that, but they did go to a sealed backing head, or a sealed backing plate. So I really like this design. They've slimmed it down a lot. The 120XP still feels really good. Low back drag, low arc swing, pretty dang smooth for alternating pawls. And then over here I have their 3/8 drive impact socket set, and that goes from 5/16 up to 3/4, 5/16 in the deep well, all the way up to 3/4. This 1/2-inch drive set is like, I need the metric version of this, because this actually has good coverage. These have held up well, and I just need a metric set. I know why I haven't got another set of Gearwrench ones, because I have 4 other sets of impact sockets, but these were really affordable. But I did buy them, you know, back in 2015, 2016 time frame, but they go up to 1 inch and 1/16, at least as far as this set, and I've been pretty happy with it. As far as the other stuff in here, I do have their universal chromes as well. I just don't have a tray for it yet. This is what, 3/8 to 3/4, I believe. Yeah, 3/8 to 3/4. I believe that's it. A lot of these sockets over here in this box, the 1/2-inch is kind of a mismatch, because I used to have trays with numbers on it, and it bothered me when it skipped. I had missing sockets, so I picked up like some, and these are the only ones I could find, and they're not even sockets that I would probably ever use, but I hated having the gaps, so I bought them to fill in the gaps. But a lot of these are just the DeWalt that I bought many years ago in a big socket set, and they've held up fantastic. And then I have some Tecton and Capri, and then I think that's not the Ulsa set. I think I have an Ulsa set as well. Yeah, an Ulsa set of sockets, and these are actually pretty nice sockets from Ulsa. So if you ever see those on sale, the Ulsa sockets are actually pretty dang clean. Nice put together full-size socket set. And I believe that is it as far as my Gearwrench stuff, as far as I can remember. I'm not going to dig through here and try and find if there are any other Gearwrench stuff, but I have quite a bit. A lot of it in this box gets used on a pretty regular basis. I do keep some in the work truck, and then the stuff over there, the oil filter wrench, the bit sockets, and a couple of the items over here. Like I used to use the pry tools, now I have a different set of pry tools, but those got used on a regular basis. A lot of the other stuff over there is just kind of overflow if I don't have it in this box, or if I need 2 of them for a certain situation. But that is a look at my Gearwrench tools. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you guys have, whether it's good or bad experiences, but I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please make sure to smash that thumbs up, leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts, and as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I'll see you guys next time.